Hi y'all, welcome to She Heal. My name is Andre and we're going to be talking about healing today. But before we get started, I want to create a little bit of peace, mindfulness, whatever you want to call it, with my singing bowl. So let's start. Okay, so now that we have got that out of the way, today I want to talk about healing, and we're just going to get right into it. So to start, I started my healing journey maybe 2 to 3 years ago, and it's a journey because the farther you get into it, the better things become, but it's like the more stuff is revealed to you along the way. So it's like, I don't know if it ever ends, honestly. Like, I can't sit here and say, oh, give it 2 months and you will be okay, because honestly, I don't know. Like, for me, I'm still on a journey. So but also, okay, so let me say this. I feel like a lot of people are scared to heal. And when I say that, I mean, let's be honest, healing takes work. It takes time, it takes commitment. Like, it takes you to really be like, okay, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of suppressing this emotion, this feeling, this trauma. I'm tired of running from whatever you may be running from, because honestly, we all have skeletons in our closet that we just keep pushing back, and they're piling up because we're not dealing with the stuff. So it really takes for you to be like, okay, let's just face this head on, because it's not going away. And honestly, it's not going to go away until you face it head on. I feel like a lot of the time we think, okay, well, I'm not feeling how I was when something bad happened no more, or I haven't thought about it in a while. And in our minds, that's kind of like, you're done with it. It doesn't exist anymore. But the reality of that is, depending on how traumatic it was, and it doesn't even have to be something super crazy, it's just you're not thinking about it anymore because you have suppressed it. You have buried it. It's buried under other stuff now. So now you're thinking about something more recent because it's on top of that other skeleton. But that skeleton is still in that closet. You have not gotten rid of it. You have just learned to ignore it. That's literally what is happening. So, yes. So, yeah, a lot of times people are afraid to heal because it takes work. And healing also takes change. It takes you out of your comfort zone. A lot of people aren't willing or ready to leave their comfort zones. Also, it's not something, a lot of people don't know how to start the journey to healing. That's another one. And some people just plain out are unaware that they need to heal. That happens. I see that a lot. So we're going to talk about how you can start your journey and really become your better self, your higher self, step into your full potential. So the first step to healing anything is you have to admit, you have to acknowledge that something needs to be healed, You have to take accountability for it. Speak it, say it, you know, anything. That's like the first step. So once you have gotten to that step where you're like, okay, I need to heal this, you know, this so such and such is bothering me. You admit it. Then you start to write or just acknowledge how you feel, how it made you feel when it happened. You know, you have to go through the feelings, because really the feelings are what we are fighting. So you have to go through how you feel and kind of understand or try to understand why you feel how you feel. Like, okay, this affected me in this way and this is how I feel about it, but why do I feel like this about it? You know, how can I change my perspective on how I feel about this? How am I looking at it from the wrong point of view? Like, what was this supposed to teach me? What was the lesson in this? You know, what is the meaning of this life experience that I have suppressed? You know, because really it's a lesson in everything. So when you get to that point where you're tired of being angry or sad about something and trying to escape the emotion, and you allow yourself to feel it, then you can kind of get in your head and start asking yourself the hard questions, like I just mentioned, you know, why, how, what is this supposed to teach me, type of thing. And once you kind of come to that, you know, answer, let's see, how can I put this? Once you gotta come to that answer, it's like, okay, you choose to kind of just let it go, really. It's like you can actually let it go because you have acknowledged it. You have come to understand what the meaning, the lesson of it was, and you've learned from it. So it's like, okay, you know. And another thing, I know some trauma is more complex than that. So like, people tend to hold other people responsible for their healing, if that makes sense. Like, if something traumatic happened to you that involves another person, then you kind of have a hard time forgiving that person. So forgiving is also how you start to heal. First, you have to forgive yourself, because a lot of the time we hold ourselves, like we place the blame on ourselves. So first you have to heal, you forgive yourself. And once you do that, then you have to work on forgiving the person who you feel did you a certain way, or, you know, whatever may have happened. You have to work on forgiving them. And don't get me wrong, I know that it is hard to forgive. It's hard, honestly, it is. But it's all about perspective when it comes to forgiving, because you being angry about something, you know, letting something that somebody did to you affect you so negatively, you know, being so angry and hateful towards that person, it's eating you up. It's not eating them up, it's eating you up. So forgiving is kind of like us loving ourselves, because you love yourself enough to not let that hate and anger and whatever sadness be in your vessel. You don't let it live in your heart. You don't let it eat away at your happiness, your joy, your, you know, all the good things, because anger and hate and all that stuff is eating away at the love, the happiness, the joy. And you wonder why you aren't happy, because a lot of times you are storing so much negative in your heart that that's all that lives there. The love is gone. because you allowed that to happen. We have to take accountability for ourselves. You can't expect for somebody to, you know, make you feel better. You gotta be the one who says, okay, no, I'm not about to let something take away the good that lives here with me. Because once that good is gone, it's not so easy to get back. And by letting somebody take it away from you, that is essential. That's like them stripping the life out of you. They're taking the life out of you, you know. So it's like we have to learn to forgive, as hard as it may be, because you being angry at whoever is not affecting them. A lot of times we think, oh, I hate him. Oh, I hate her. You know, oh, when I see that, I'ma beat her, you know. You're just mad. And you think in your head that it's like, okay, they need to see how mad I am. They need to see what they did to me. Sis, they can see what they did to you and not care, just how they did not care when they was doing it to you. So the best thing you can do for yourself, and if you want to be, you know, a little vengeful, I'm not here to judge, is to not let somebody strip the life out of you. Don't let them take your happiness. Don't let them take the love out of you. A lot of people go through traumatic stuff and they're like, oh, that's it. I'm never loving again. I'm never doing this again. And it's like, you're going to let that one person strip you of loving the main thing that we are put here to do. You're going to let one person take that from you. And another thing I think is important for us to realize is that when a person does something bad to us, it is not a reflection of their love for you, or it's not a reflection of you. It's a reflection of them. They are showing you that this is what lives inside of me. This is all I have to give. They can't give you nothing more. A person who does not love their self would never be able to love you. Not properly. You know, if I'm a hateful, angry, mad woman, you know, that's kind of all I can give. Like, I probably can be nice in the beginning, you know, sugarcoat it on up for you. But when it gets real, I don't have that love, that compassion in me to give you. So all I know how to give you is what's inside of me. And that's what happens. A lot of people are battling stuff within themselves, and we expect to be the heroes. You know, well, maybe if I love them a certain way and do this a certain way, I can heal them. We cannot heal each other. We cannot. I can help you see what you need to heal. I can give you the information. I can loan you my tool belt, but you got to pick up the tools and use them. We cannot heal each other. So we need to get out of that whole perspective of, oh, you know, let me heal. I can heal them if I love them this much or whatever. No, they have to love themselves that much to start their healing, because that's how it works. You know, sometimes we are placed in people's lives to show them certain things, and us being us, we get attached to it. And when it goes left, as it often does, we are like, oh, you know, shocked for whatever reason. Like, oh, how could he do that to me? I loved him. I gave him. That was your mission. That was your mission. You did your job. Don't take it personal. You know, he was already in a, she, let me speak from both perspectives. He or she was already in a rut. You know, they were already unhealed beings and you were just placed there to show them, hey, you know, this is what love is. And hopefully they look at that lesson and, you know, awaken to what they need to do to actually be able to give that sort of love, you know, from themselves to themselves, you know. So that's what it is. Like, we can't be hateful. You can't hold that anger in, because eventually it eats away, literally your immune system. Honey, it ain't worth it. It's not worth it. Like, you can really put yourself in a very unhealthy place being such a hateful, angry person, because that takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of energy to be mad. You know, like, you ever just been mad and you like, dang, I just feel, you know, you feel tired, like drained. It takes a lot of energy to be mad. So is it worth it to always, like, sometimes I wonder, like, people who constantly experience like those type of low vibrations, because I was there before in my life, and sometimes I just think back and I'm like, it's draining. Like, it's not a place that I want to be, you know. And I don't want anybody to be there, because it's not it's just not ideal. It's not what we're meant to do here. It's pointless, really, because this life experience is just that. It's an experience. So you have to just go into things with an open heart, open mind, and know that, hey, I did what I felt I was put there to do. You know, I gave my best. I was genuine. I was good, you know. Sometimes you just gotta look at it like that, because we can't, like I said, you can't love somebody. You can't, what's the word? You can't love a person into healing, you know. Like, no. You know, I know they say love heals all. I think they say that anyway. It does, but the love got to be coming from the individual themselves who needs to be healed, you know. So that's how I feel about healing. Like, I don't really think I have too much more to say, because I think I said everything. You just really, it's really about acknowledging, you know, letting yourself feel, because a lot of times we run away from our emotions so much, you know, the bad ones anyway. You know, you're like, oh, I don't want to deal with it. So you just, some people self-medicate, some people drink away, some people eat away, you know. Some people, like, we all have different ways of coping with stuff that we don't want to deal with. And it's like, we got to stop the coping and we have to start getting through it, because you can only cope so much, you know. So yes, oh, and forgiving, the most important parts. We have to forgive. Don't harbor any low vibrations in your body, in your heart, in your mind, because it's just going to become a part of you, and we don't want that. So yes, that's pretty much all I have to say about healing. I'll probably do another video if some more stuff comes to my mind. But yes, thank you all for watching. Peace and blessings. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel. I would really, really appreciate it. And thank you.